Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wealth in Christ show where we inspire the masses to become financially free without compromising their faith. I'm your host Dami, and today I'll be debunking three myths, three lies that young people often believe and that hinders them from building wealth. And to start us off, the number one myth or number one lie that oftentimes a lot of young people believe is that you need to be an entrepreneur, a business owner in order to build wealth. And that's far from the truth. Entrepreneurship is not the only path to building wealth. You can work a 9 to 5 and build wealth. It's possible to do that. Not everyone needs to be a real estate investor. Not everyone needs to be sell things. Not everyone needs to be a content creator. Not everyone needs to be a streamer. Not everyone needs to be a TikToker. You can work a 9 to 5. You can truly, if that's what God is calling you to do, it's okay being a nurse. It's okay being a teacher. It's okay being an engineer. It's okay being a janitor. There's still ways for you in your career to build wealth. One is like going up the corporate ladder. That's a great way to build wealth because the extra money that you're making, you can use towards investing into asset class. And just to put in perspective, that starting a business is not as glamorous as people make it to be on social media. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, around 18% of small businesses fail within their first year, and nearly 65% of them will fail within 10 years. In March 2023, only 34.7% of businesses born in 2023 that was born in 2013 were still operating. This is to show you that starting a business take a certain fortitude. It says, 18%, about 20% of people fail in their first year. And within 10 years, 65% of them fail. And to truly build a profitable business, to truly make good wealth in business, it does take time. It's not something that happens overnight, because you will make mistakes. There's a learning curve that you have to go through. And while entrepreneurship has its benefit, it's not a guaranteed path to wealth. In fact, 198,690 of the 993,489 businesses that started in March 2024 have already failed by this year, has already closed down, are not in existence anymore. So many of us are so quick to start a business because of what we see on social media, but we're not really taking time to seek God's face. Some of us are called to be entrepreneurs. Some of us are called to be employees. And that's the honest truth. And there's nothing bad because we all have different roles. If we're all entrepreneurs, I've said it before, if we are all entrepreneurs, who's going to be cleaning? Who are you going to hire if everyone's an entrepreneur? Who are going to be the chef? Who are going to be the nurses? Who's going to be the doctors? Who's going to be the teachers? Who's going to be the lawyers? Who's going to be the doctors? If everyone is an entrepreneur, if everyone is starting a business. And in contrast, with being an employee, if you're an employee who saves diligently, according to Fidelity Investment, as of quarter 3 of 2024, over 544 Americans have reached $1 million or more in their 401k account. While that is an increase of 27% from the previous year, this group still makes up less than 3% of all 401k participants. So this just to show you that it's still possible with saving diligently, you can reach wealth. You can accumulate $1 million or more. You can be part of that 3% that's growing being an employee. Being an entrepreneur is not as glamorous as it makes be. It's very rare to hear someone succeed on their first business, or second business, or third business, or to build their business just make millions or thousands overnight. So being that said, not everyone's called to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is called to be an employee, and that's okay. Building wealth is less about being a boss and more about being faithful with what you have. Diligent saving, investing, and stewardship, whether as an employee, as a business owner, can lead to long-term success. The second myth that I want to debunk is a high salary equals wealthy. And a common misconception is that if you have a high salary, you're automatically wealthy. You don't necessarily have to worry too much about finance. But that's far from the truth. Because you earn a lot of money also means you can spend a lot of money and you can live paycheck to paycheck. I think I did a study, I shared a statistic before, about 33% of people who are making six figure are living paycheck to paycheck. So it's not really so much about the money that you're making, but it's about the mindset you have towards the money. I've always stated, if you know how to manage $100, you can manage $1,000. If you know how to manage $1,000, you can manage $10,000, and so on and so forth. The key to building wealth is saving and investing so your money can grow over time. As it states in Luke 16 verse 10, Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And to go even further and to continue, just imagine one person is earning $50,000 a year and live within their means and constantly saving and investing. Now compare that to someone who's making $500,000 a year, who bought multiple homes, spurs on luxury, and have no saving discipline. They have no type of money saved. Yes, on the outside they look very wealthy. They look like they have accomplished, they have achieved financial freedom, but truly they have not. Because there's a good possibility they still own a mortgage on these multiple houses. They still have loans on these multiple cars that you see them drive. The lower earner can actually be wealthy in the long run, not because of what the person makes, but how they manage their money. This is why we can't just believe everything we're saying. There's many people on social media, about 90% of people on social media who are flaunting are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck because the business is not growing as planned. You know, money is not coming as quickly. So many different things, different factors are playing a role that's causing the money supply that they expect to come slower than expected. So income is a tool, but it does not guarantee wealth. Wealth is built through stewardship and not just high paycheck. Because the more money you make, the more you have to steward your money. You have to tell your money how to work for you. How do you want your money to work for you? That's a question you must answer. How do you want your money to work for you? Your money would either make you more money, or you would just spend your money and not make any money back. Your money wouldn't just be, it would just have no value besides just spending. So it's important, whether you're making a high income or not, to steward your wealth, to know how to manage your money, to know how to invest, to know how to save. There's nothing wrong with trying to enjoy life, but it's important to know that just because you're making a high income or you're making a lot of money, it does not equate to you being wealthy. When you calculate someone's net worth, is the asset minus liability. And if the amount of liability you have is more than the asset you have, more than the income you're making, what's the point of what's the point of your lifestyle? Lastly, the last myth that I want to debunk is, and a lot of young people say that I'm young, so I don't need to start worrying about retirement now. You know, I have time to worry about retirement. And the honest truth is, time is the best asset that you can have on your side. If you're younger than 25, you're younger than 30, you're still young. Time is the best asset to have, especially when in terms of building wealth. Time is very important. The truth is, the earlier you start, the better it is for you down the road. Because it costs less now to save than it will cost you in the next 5 to 10 years. And the more you delay, the more time you let pass you, the more costly it will be for you to save in the near future. According to Money Geek, saving early gives your money more time to grow through compounding. So they use a scenario which I will share. And the scenario is, imagine a 25-year-old saving $200 a month at an average rate of 7%. That money can accumulate to over $500,000 by the age of 65. But if that same person wait to 35, that amount reduced to $250,000. And this is in a scenario where a person is invested in the stock market, and I'm assuming they're using the S&P 500, which yields about 7% on average. 7 to 10% on average. So between you not starting at 25 and waiting 10 years to start, you lose about $250,000 in wealth and money that can be added to your network. You lose $250,000, and at 35, to even get to have $500,000, you would have to invest way much more than just $200, if not close to maybe like $600 or $800 to even get to that amount of $500,000 by the time you're 65. So just to be honest, you don't have to max out your retirement account today. But it's important to get into the habit. The earlier you begin, the more freedom and option you have later. You know, you want to use your 20s and 30s to put in the work, to put in systems that will help you build wealth, so that in your 40s and 50s you can benefit from these systems. You can enjoy the labor that you put in, because now you are receiving dividends. Now you will see that your money has grown. But if you're waiting to a certain age, or you're waiting to get a certain paycheck, to get paid a certain paycheck, you're only hurting yourself. And I know in the example we start with $20. Maybe you don't have $20. Start with $100. Start with $100. If you don't have $100, start with 50. Start with 10. And as you make more money, add to it. Add to your investment account. This is one way. If it's real estate, same thing. Continue to look for better opportunities. Look for better deals. There's so many asset classes that you can invest. Look for better ways to start planning for retirement. Look for asset class that can invest into things that can give you revenue that you can survive with, that can give you income that you can go about your day-to-day life. Because financial peace is very important, and the earlier you can attain financial peace, the better it is for you. As always, I hope this bless you guys. I hope this encourage you, and I hope for those who are listening, I hope we're taking this journey to becoming financially free serious. You don't have to wait till you're 35. You don't have to wait till you're 40 to start building wealth. You can start with $1, $5 on different platforms such as Robinhood, Webull, and so much more. And so much asset class. I often speak about the stock market, but there's so many different asset class that you can invest in, whether it's crypto, whether it's real estate. But you can do all of this while having 9 to 5. You don't need to become an entrepreneur. You don't need to become a business owner in order to attain wealth. As always, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Stay blessed. Peace out.